things that are involved in the community make a big difference, not only in the business side, but on the community side as well. You may not know this, but Sean actually from the Alliance provided me a little bio on everybody, and yours actually was wonderful, John. It reminds me, though, it's all great. It reminds me when I lived in Cincinnati, a lot of Procter & Gamble folks were there. And from the president down to the lowest person at Procter & Gamble, if you ask them, what do you do at Procter & Gamble? They say, I make stuff and we sell stuff. That's all you get. It's really smooth. So John's is very smooth. I did a little more digging on this. And I also realized that many of you already know John. He took over the family business in 1991, and he grew McKibben Hospitality into an award-winning industry leader in hospitality development, operations, and management. And if you already know John, you know his interest is in really learning new things to help steer that company to the future. Also his sincere dedication to his team, the community, and most of all his family. But allow me to share a couple little points, if I can, about McKibben. They're headquartered right here in West Shore, if you didn't know that, right at Avion Park. It's a really beautiful facility that, along with the Laser Spine Institute right next to it, I personally think that kind of helped ignite a redevelopment theme in our marketplace a few years ago. It's really a wonderful facility. I encourage you to go see Avion Park if you have not seen that. And I have been there a few times, but most recently we actually had a West Shore 101 forum meeting there. I think it was the week that Hurricane Irma was coming through town, which is a weird week, but I remember it very, very much. And I remember the energy that your folks had about that, the headquarters. They were very excited about this new thing they had to work with and create to help their guests and everybody else in town. It was great. It was a wonderful experience. McKibben's Hospitality currently manages 83 hotels, representing 16 different brands in 40 cities across 11 states. I looked that up today. They also have a few very impressive projects arriving over the next year to 2 years in Atlanta, Asheville, and Charlotte. We have a chance to learn many things from our very, very busy and a little bit under the weather, coming back to grips with the world right now, I think. Our guest, if you would welcome, please, John McKibben.
Thank you. I see my friends at Tampa General over here, and I got back from the Georgia-Alabama game about 3 or 4 in the morning, and they had a conference call at 7 a.m. I think that's what caused the problem. Anyway, I'm so delighted to be able to speak to such a smart and successful group that is here at the West Shore Alliance. And no doubt, most of you graduated from college, and I'm sure some of you graduated cum laude, and maybe a few even magna cum laude, and maybe a very few even sigma cum laude. Well, I graduated, thank you, laude.
Thank you, laude. Funny.
So, seriously, I was a straight C student, pretty much. But when I started taking hospitality classes, that's when I really started to work for me, because you got to do what you love to do. And at McKibben Hospitality, like Procter & Gamble, we do 2 things. We develop hotels from the ground up, and we manage hotels. And we manage for our own account and for others. So let me show you a few slides. I'm really a 3rd generation in our company entrepreneur. This is actually my grandfather's in this picture. This is his grocery store back in 1928. And he had a lot of issues in the grocery store business. One of the worst tornadoes in the history of the United States went through my hometown of Gainesville, Georgia, and severely damaged his store. But he took the opportunity to build another store that was twice as large. And one of the innovative things he did was to develop shopping carts in his grocery store, which I know sounds crazy, but back then you would just get everything from the counter. And this is our first property, the Avion Motor Court. I know it doesn't look too exciting, but my dad got back from World War II and developed a restaurant and a motor lodge, and that's how he got us into the business. And this was his restaurant, the Avion Restaurant. Avion because he was a pilot in World War II, and so we call it Avion. I grew up in the Holiday Inn business where my dad was an early franchisee. I spent 4 years running one of his Holiday Inns. I worked 80 hours a week and squeaked out a very meager profit. It was a very tough time. That was after the oil embargo and the recession that we'd gone through. And they took this Holiday Inn and put in a cafeteria line. And actually, we did more business in food and beverage than we did in a hotel back then. When I started running it, it was just tough. And I went through 13 food and beverage managers in 4 years. It was not good. But the cafeteria line was not what we needed to be doing. But my first big break was we were in Gwinnett County, which at the time was 135,000 people. And it was a dry county, you can imagine. So we ran a campaign to vote in mixed drinks and lost. And it took us 2 years to get it on the ballot, so it was a very big disappointment. But I had an idea, and there was a little town with 1,000 people a mile away. I went to see the mayor and I said, what do you think about voting in mixed drinks, and then I'll annex into the city and we can both do very well. And he says, I think that's a great idea, but you're going to annex in first and then we'll have the election. So I said, yes, sir. We did. We won the election. We had the only bar in the county of 135,000 people. Cha-ching. Yeah, so one of the early Holiday Inns. But really hard work and persistence has a lot to do with success, and also a bit of luck. Being in the right place at the right time. And that happened in 1983. You may not know this, but being a Holiday Inn franchisee, they came up with the Hampton Inn concept, and it's changed hands many times since then. But Holiday Inns is the company that thought of that brand. So I was at that first meeting in Memphis when they introduced this new concept. And I said, wow, that sounds like a pretty good idea. So I went through the whole Southeast looking for places to build a Hampton Inn. And all I could see was Comfort Inn, the Quintas, and Red Roofs. And I said, you know what, these guys, they're just too late to market, they'll never make it. Today there's over 2,300 Hampton Inns. Needless to say, I was left running a group of old, obsolete, two-story exterior corridor Holiday Inns. It was not good, and I was very frustrated. So fast forward to 1990. The country was just coming out of recession. We were barely making payroll, and the bank, I had a meeting with the bank where we had all of our loans, and they said, all your loans are classified. And I really wasn't sure what that meant, but I knew one thing, they weren't going to loan me any more money. So we were really in a bind. But about that time, my family members retired, my dad, my uncle, my brother got out of the business. And so I hired two key people, one to run our operations and the other to get our finances in order. And these two people really did what needed to be done. So in 1992, I made a 15-minute decision that put me in a position to be one of the first Marriott Courtyard franchisees in the country. Right time, right place. But that experience I had with Hampton Inns, I learned my lesson. And you rarely get a second chance to have a big, big win in your career. So this one I was not going to miss. And so I went to my board of directors and I said, I'm going to build 12 Marriott Courtyards in the Southeast. And they said, you have lost your mind. But we actually converted one of our hotels to Marriott Courtyard. We built one in Mobile, and when it opened, our board of directors came to me and says, what are you doing? Get busy. So fortunately, during that time, I had put 12 properties under option, and we got busy. And being first in line and first to get somewhere really was helpful. So how did I get from a small town in Georgia to Tampa? The Marriott brand, believe it or not, there was only one Marriott Courtyard in Tampa in 1992. And they, excuse me. And so anyway, Marriott sent me here and said, you need to go to Tampa. They gave me a lot of places, but Tampa is one of them. And I'm going like, wow, that's a pretty big city. I don't know. So I made an appointment with the Committee of 100. I came down and met with Yvonne Dean. And that very first day here, I met Joe Taggart, who has been my business partner here ever since. And I'll never forget, Yvonne put her arm around me and says, John McKibben, we want you to do business in our town. And I went like, wow, that is great. And that really made an impression on me that I never forgot. Anyway, you hear the term self-made man. Well, there's really no such thing. No one has ever made it by themselves. Partnerships with people like Joe Taggart and many others have enabled me to do what I've done. By 1998, we had developed hotels in Tampa North, Brandon, downtown, and we had a regional office here. And so many of our corporate people kept moving to the regional office. I said, why don't we just move our headquarters here? So we did, and we've loved it here ever since. But I've been told that West Shore was the place to buy land. There were rumors of a mall that was going to get built. Yeah, I hesitated. And when the announcement was made, the best site for a hotel was already under option. That option expired, and I'd been telling my friend Joe Taggart, I says, Joe, we need to get that piece of property. We need that piece of property. He says, it's under option, John, it's under option. And the day that option expired, the Outback Restaurant Group picked it up. I mean, that day they picked it up. And I went, great. Well, Joe called me and says, well, listen, those guys want to put 3 restaurants on the site, but they don't want to do the whole thing. They need office towers, which I'm going to do with Crescent Resources, and they need a hotel there. And he said, would you like to do the hotel? I says, well, tell me about it. And he told me the price, which was, I think, double what I'd ever paid for a hotel site before. He said, oh, and by the way, there's a landfill under the site, and I need an answer in 24 hours. I'm like, wow. Anyway, I just had to suck it up and do it. And so that's where we built our Residence Inn. International Mall opened on that tragic day of 9/11, and the Residence Inn opened 2 months later. So it was a very tough start, but we stuck it out through the recession that followed, and that has been the best real estate venture that I've ever made. A few years later, we were able to put 5 acres under contract adjacent to the International Mall. And I was able to get a license for 2 of the Hilton brand hotels. And after months of due diligence and pre-development, I received a call, and I was ready to go. And I received a call from the mall. And I had not been informed of a special agreement between the mall and the seller of the land. And as it turned out, the mall had final say-so on whatever is going to be developed on that 5 acres. And they said, and by the way, we're not going to approve your project. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in so much trouble. I got these licenses, and I got nowhere to go. So of course, I turned to my partner, Joe Taggart, and says, help me. And so Joe and Ted Delaverne put together 19 acres due south of the airport. And the site had a 45-foot height restriction because it's right below the airport. And but with the help of the Tampa International Airport, which is, as we know, the very best airport in the country, they told me the FAA has new flight line contours, and you can do a lot more than 45 feet. On part of the site is 45 feet, but on part of it, you can do 10 stories. I'm like, wow, now I really got something I can work with. So that development is called Avion Park, and it's named after my dad's first restaurant in 1946. Today it is headquarters for McKibben Hospitality that manages, you heard, quite a few hotels with different owners, and quite a few other things. Let me show you a few more pictures here. See, this is our very first Marriott Courtyard is actually a conversion from a Days Inn. And when I met with Marriott, I called them and I said, listen, I'd like to convert this. I think it fits. I've always wanted to be a Marriott Courtyard franchisee, but the club was closed. And I hate to tell you what brand it is. I don't want to offend anybody here. But it was rated, it was the #1 Days Inn of all 1,000 Days Inns worldwide last year. So they came and they looked at it and said, this is exactly what we want as a conversion, and we did it, and it's been a great property, and it's still a Marriott Courtyard today. Then I've got a little video here. I want to show you a little bit about our management company.
We live in a world full of inspiration. Inspiration that drives our every action. Actions that define who we are. We are contributors, striving to make this world a better place. Better than how we found it. We are creators, builders, artists. We often paint outside the lines. Free thinkers. We are connectors, your partners, risk takers. Some people like taking the road less traveled. We prefer to pave our own path. We are part of your community, your friends, your neighbors. We are family. We are McKibben.
Our management company has come a long ways over the last 25 years. And just very exciting to watch. And the two guys that helped us get our company to where it is today have mentored the next generation who is running our company today. And it's just exciting to see the company being managed with the next generation better than it ever has been in the past. So today, from that first conversion to a Marriott Courtyard, we're involved in a lot of interesting projects. This isn't a loft. We love the lifestyle hotels, and when Starwood came up with a loft brand, I said that looks like a fun brand to build. And so this is in Asheville, North Carolina. Very dull. And this is an loft in Greenville. We've got a great design. This is a hotel we opened recently, the AC Hotel in downtown Asheville. It's got a rooftop bar and restaurant, and it just is a fabulous, fun project. And this is a 22-story hotel. It's AC and residence inn combined in one tower. The tower in the background is in downtown, or uptown, they call it Charlotte. And it's built, there was a 50-story condo tower that went bust in 08, and we actually picked up where they had started and converted it to a hotel and finished building it. And this is our kind of what I call my grand finale. This is a 50-year-old 18-story tower in downtown Asheville that we gutted back all the way to the frame, and we're rebuilding it for hotel. It'll be an independent hotel, part of the Marriott Independent Group, and condominiums. That's some of our condominiums. And we've got a few more to sell if y'all have any interest in that. But beautiful views of the mountains up there. Asheville is a wonderful, wonderful place. And this is a picture of Avion Park. And you can see today we're negotiating on the last two out parcels, which are those the blank sites out front. And it'll be complete. We'll have over 700 hotel rooms, 250,000 square feet of office, including 2 surgery centers, and we'll have 3 restaurants. West Shore Alliance's mission is to promote, shape future growth, and to foster economic prosperity. Because of that vision and the focus on quality, planning, and growth, we are part of that prosperity, and West Shore is more vibrant today than ever. Just some quick keys to my success. Number one is people. It's all about people. Finding the right people that can help you become successful and being honest and fair, whether it's with employees, partners, or vendors. For me, my faith has played a large part in my career. I use the Bible as my operating manual on how to treat others. Win-win. The best deal you can make is when everybody around the table comes out ahead. That's how you create a reputation for being someone that people want to do business with. Persistence. Never give up. The idea is the easy part, staying focused and moving forward, especially when unexpected obstacles service matter the most. And community. You know, when Rockefeller died, Rockefeller one time was the richest person in the country or the world, someone asked his accountant, how much did he leave? And the accountant says, well, all of it, of course. And so, success is not about how much you accumulate, but looking back and seeing the lives you've touched along the way. Have I trampled over people to get to the top, or have I worked with them to help them fulfill their own dreams? Give back to your community, your time, your talent, your treasures. Giving should become a habit that no matter what you have. And I found that giving back has been the best investment that I've ever made. The future is bright for Tampa. We need to foster entrepreneurialism, especially in high tech and medical. We need to make it easier to do business in Tampa for developers who have high quality projects, especially small businesses. And we need to take care of the businesses that are here. A quick story, I'm involved in a high-tech company in my hometown, and it's grown from nothing to 150 employees in the last 20 years. And we decided to move to Atlanta because we needed to be closer to the town. And after 20 years, the chamber called me and said, I hear you're moving to Atlanta, and what can we do to work with you on that? And I said, well, that's the first time the chamber had ever called us in 20 years. And we were like, nothing. So let's take care of the people that are here. That's so important. And the new tax laws are going to help business grow and will accelerate migration from high-tax states to Florida. Real estate is a great business, and when there's a growing population, real estate values go up. So opportunities are boundless. Let's go do it. Thank you. I'll do a few questions if anybody has any questions.